If you've ever wondered just how bad people are struggling to get by these days, look no further than the fact that as of 2021, 1/3 of Americans had a side hustle. That's right, more than 100 million people in the United States, the world's richest country, have to make money outside their 9-to-5 job just to get by. Rather than belabor this point any further, I want to help you make the extra money you want and maybe even need. As such, I want to teach you how to start a side hustle while working full-time so you can make more money and see the financial progression in life you deserve. I still remember my own side hustle journey that started 5 years ago at the age of 25. I was working in management consulting and was hating every minute of it. From getting yelled at by clients to having to work late most nights of the week, my day-to-day existence was less than ideal. However, at least I was being paid handsomely for all my hard work. Right? I wish. At the time, I was making $40,000 a year and was literally having to track every penny I spent to ensure I could meet my bills every month. Finally, one day I hit my breaking point. Another month of late nights at work had gone by without making any financial progression whatsoever, and I finally admitted to myself that this ongoing state of stagnancy was making me depressed. Fortunately, rather than wallowing in my frustration, I decided to make a change. This change was the start of a side hustle which had blossomed into a 4-figure-a-month income stream that I maintain until this day. For me, starting a side hustle was the key to not only finally starting to see the financial progression I desired, but to just generally be happier with my overall life. I had acquired skills that I could serve others with and was seeing my bank balance rise at exponential rates for the first time in my life. This was all due to the fact I had committed to starting a side hustle. In fact, I think everyone should start a side hustle in some capacity, and I believe there are 3 overwhelming reasons for doing so. First, you will make more money. This is the most obvious benefit, but with the costs of, well, everything rising by the day, it's nice to know that you are making enough income to not only keep up, but even get ahead despite all the economic challenges around us. In fact, starting this side hustle was the catalyst in my ability to significantly cut down my time to retirement, as it allowed me to put away thousands of extra dollars a month into my investment accounts, which I would never have been able to afford to do solely through my salary alone. Secondly, starting a side hustle forces you to learn and grow. For me, I learned how to write copy and make high-quality animations. These are both skills I obviously wasn't born with, but the satisfaction I gained from learning these skills was significant. It's amazing to see yourself go from a complete beginner in something to learning how to use this newfound skill to make yourself thousands of dollars a month. However, probably the biggest benefit of starting to make a side hustle is the financial flexibility doing so offers you. Let's call it like it is. The job market has never been as volatile as it is now, meaning that you are one economic dip or company restructuring away from losing your job and potentially going from a full-time income down to nothing. Well, with a side hustle, you can mitigate some of this risk by having a secondary income stream to rely upon. So the next time your boss asks you for a private meeting to discuss your performance, you won't be sweating bullets worried you're about to get fired. At this point, you're probably fired up to start making some of that sweet side hustle cash. And if you are, then gently tap that like button below so I can see everyone who's about to start making a ton more money. Starting a side hustle literally changed my life forever, and I know it can change yours too. However, there are 3 mistakes people make when making a side hustle that you need to avoid at all costs. Knowing these mistakes will save you a ton of time and frustrations, and after I share them with you, I will give you my step-by-step plan for making thousands of extra dollars a month through a profitable side hustle. The first side hustle mistake I see people make all the time is not making time to actually work on their side hustle. I know you'll be pursuing this side hustle while working a full-time job, but that's not an excuse for being a poor time manager. Despite having my own challenges making money with a side hustle in the beginning, one thing I was good at was making time in my schedule every week to learn how to make money outside of my 9-to-5 job. I always recommended people block off time slots in their week to commit to their side hustle, with 5 hours being the sweet spot. I say 5 hours because I think building a profitable side hustle will take people this long per week to really start seeing progress. Not only that, but if you can't set aside 5 hours now, how will you ever find the time to make more money once you get your side hustle off the ground without having the time to commit to actually doing the work? As such, time management is key when starting a money-making side hustle. Next, there's picking the wrong side hustle. This issue is twofold. Many people fall into the trap of picking a side hustle that can only ever offer them extremely low returns. For instance, starting a side hustle as an Uber driver will have you incurring a ton of ongoing gas, insurance and depreciation costs, while also having to deal with people's bullshit every time you hit the road. Obviously, this isn't even a side hustle you could start with $50 a month, but the point is that doing a cost-benefit analysis of your time and dollar investment compared to what you get back from your side hustle is key. In fact, those who spend adequate time researching the profitability of the side hustles they want to pursue are those I see succeeding most often, because generally, these endeavors end up satisfying them both financially and creatively. The other half of this mistake is picking a side hustle you can only do in person. As recent events have shown us, income stability is a thing of the past. Any unforeseen event can turn our seemingly reliable income stream into a dry tap, and when you rely solely on making money through in-person means, you subject yourself to unnecessary risk. This is why, if you ask me, making money online is your best bet. Finally, there's the mistake of starting a side hustle that requires constant active effort. While there's nothing wrong with making an active income, if we are being honest with ourselves, we don't want to have a side hustle simply to work more, we just want more money. Well, that money will come with more work as long as you are relying on active efforts to earn it. I will explain in a few minutes how to make your side hustle almost completely hands-off, because why work for your money when you don't have to, right? So now you know why you should start a side hustle and what mistakes to watch out for. Hit that subscribe button below if you haven't already, and let me share with you exactly how to start a profitable side hustle for less than $50 a month. The first step in starting a side hustle is to build time into your schedule to work on your new money-making method. Like I said earlier, schedule in 5 hours a week into your calendar. I don't care if you have to ignore your girlfriend, give up Netflix, or delete Fortnite. These 5 hours must be met in order to really see some forward progression in your side hustle journey. Next, research a high-paying online freelance skill. The online aspect of this skill is vitally important because we've realized over the past couple of years, making money in person is not as reliable as once thought. The best way to do this is to go on freelance sites like Upwork and browse through the work categories and see how much top freelancers are making. If they appear to be getting constant work at a rate you'd be willing to work at, then you've met both the requirements of finding a high-paying, in-demand skill. Next, you must start to develop this newfound skill. The best ways to do this are through our friend YouTube University, online courses, or mentorship. I typically recommend you use all three, but the latter two may present a challenge if you are restricted to just $50 a month. I always say that if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. So I find spending to learn as being key, but if you have only $50 a month to spend, it's better you learn for free and use that money on any work tools you'll need to fulfill your services. Once you've been working on your skill for a few months, I suggest you go back to the freelance sites you used to research your freelance skills and start to offer your services on their platform. This is the easiest way to gauge how well your skills are progressing and start making some of that sweet online income. My suggestion here is to literally take on any work related to your newly formed skill set. This activity is not about getting rich, but building experience and understanding how the world of freelancing works. Next, after you've done a couple projects, take inventory of how your side hustle journey is going thus far. Roughly 6 months into your side hustle journey, you should be at the point where you are now making at least $1,000 a month and have a schedule in place to balance your 9-to-5 job with your hustle commitments. However, over time you will start to notice that your free time, especially as you strive to make more money, will be limited. You see, you didn't start your side hustle journey to go from time rich and money poor to time poor and money rich. As Hannah Montana says, you can have the best of both worlds, and the way you do this is to remove yourself from the active part of this process. You can do this in 2 separate ways. The first way you can make money with your newly developed skill is to product it. If you have an audience or a platform you can use to sell this skill, then creating a digital product is an excellent way to make money without your active involvement. For instance, if you work in video editing, you can create templates people can buy to mimic your editing efforts and meet their editing needs using the tools you've shared with them. Alternatively, you can start drop servicing your skill set. This involves you bidding on contracts as you have been and then hiring someone to do the projects while you collect the difference as profit. While this means of making money can actually be done without cultivating the skill set in advance, knowing how to do your client's work, despite not actually having to do it, means you can fill in if needed and also properly assess the quality of work the person doing the work is submitting. Fortunately, you don't have to pick between the two if both are appealing to you. I've used both in tandem to exponentially increase my income while also gaining back a ton of my free time. And once you have your own side hustle established, you can do the same, all for the low cost of $50 a month. Now, I have to admit that building out a passive income stream is easier said than done, and many people struggle when trying to build one for themselves, which is why in this next video I will share with you my exact step-by-step process to building passive income streams. So click on over and let's get started.